I'm Isaiah Carey, and you're checking out Willie D Live.
Welcome to Willie D Live. I'm Willie D along with Danny. He is a television broadcast journalist and reporter who has worked for television and radio stations throughout the southeast portion of the United States and whose reporting videos have been seen by millions of people all over the world. He is the recipient of many honors and awards, including an Emmy that he won for live reporting in Arkansas, Little Rock. Little Rock, Arkansas, my fault. And guess what else? He currently works for Fox. But it's Fox Local, y'all. It's Fox Local in Houston, Texas.
I'm recycling the black dollar via Fox.
Ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only Isaiah Carey is in the house.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Man.
You got to add another Emmy to that list you just talked about. I won one last year.
Oh, you won? Okay, my fault, my bad. Now, what'd you win that for?
A special I did on children or students who are bullied in the classroom.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, that's what I like about the reporting that you do. Not only is it insightful, but you always go to bat for the little guy. You're always the voice for the voiceless. You are a champion for those who are underserved and underrepresented.
If the money's right, yeah.
Y'all believe me, he's kidding. But he do make sure his money is right. But he don't need money to do what he do. In fact, you was passing out air conditioners.
Yes, that was something I started last year. I got a call from a senior citizen here in Houston, and the woman said, Isaiah, it's like 100 degrees in my house, and I can't afford to buy an air conditioner. I'm on a fixed income. And I said, well, we can start an air conditioner drive with some of my friends on social media. And initially we wanted to do 20, and then we ended up doing 41 last year. And we decided to do it again this year, and we're still giving out. We're about at 40 now, so we'll go over that number this year. But just to see the faces of those seniors when they arrive to pick up that unit is just so much gratification, but they're also thankful to have just something we all take for granted, cool air in the house. And you know, temperatures here in Houston hover in the high 90s, sometimes in the hundreds.
Right.
And they're at their home, you know, with window fans trying to survive, and hopefully we can make a difference by giving them these air conditioning units.
Right. Now, are you partnering with anybody to do this?
No, I just did it on social media. Several people have come forward and really helped out. Attorney Dennis Sperling, attorney Tony Busby, Michael Kubaj, Paul Kubaj, they've all
good people, Kubashes.
Yeah, exactly.
Good people. Yeah,
And,
always in the community, always helping out.
Dwight Boykins, a Houston City Councilman, so they've all pitched in and brought units, and the Good Spire organization and those folk over there.
Yeah.
And Random Acts of Kindness, they've helped out as well. But as far as actually officially partnering with someone, no.
Right. Now, I gotta put this on the table. This video.
Don't you dumb?
Yeah. So Isaiah was reporting. Now, what city was this you reporting when this incident occurred? You know what I'm about to bring up, this incident with the bug.
Actually, that's exactly 20 years ago. I was working in Little Rock, Arkansas, and there was a city north of Little Rock called Augusta, Arkansas.
Right.
A lot of people think I was in Augusta, Georgia, but I was in Augusta, Arkansas on a very bad day for me.
Right.
When things went left.
What really happened on that Thursday here at Augusta High School that led to Chris Wood's death? The fuck is that? Shit! I'm dying in this fucking country-ass fucked up town. Shit flying in my mouth. The fuck, I can't see pollen. And let's get the fuck out this country, motherfucker. I can't even see me.
And you had this reaction that resonated around the world. it was just like everybody. The video went viral so fast. Before the video was uploaded to Facebook and YouTube, it was released somewhere else first, right? And it like the year before that, and then the following years when like it really caught on fire when somebody, I think, put it out on Facebook.
Exactly. There was the whole story was I worked at the NBC station in Little Rock, Arkansas. They bought a new building. They moved, so they left a bunch of tapes in front of the building. Some guy who plays in a rock alternative band was walking down the street, saw the box of tapes, picked one up, took it home, watched it. It was my blooper tape. Then he put it on YouTube. Mm-hmm. And I think that was like in 2009 or 2010. And then it got on some website, like you said.
Right.
And then maybe a year later, it just went crazy.
Right. And when it went crazy, what was your response? Were you mortified when you first heard it? Like when you first found out it was out? Did you feel like your job was in jeopardy?
Well, yeah, absolutely. You know, because it's a bad video.
But it's so old. It's just kind of like, can that make your job in jeopardy?
Yeah,
as
I mean,
old as it was.
Say if a sex tape comes out on Willie D,
Uh-huh.
and he's working for Fox News at the time, but it's a sex tape from 1998 or something with you and Jane Kennedy or something like that.
Okay, go ahead.
I think that's real, right?
Already took a left.
But anyway, I got a call from, remember Nate from 97.9 The Box.
Yeah.
I was just out on assignment in the field working, and she said, Isaiah, you need to see this videotape that's out of you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Right.
She said, it's you cursing, and you're somewhere, and you're upset. I said, that's not me. I don't have a tape like that.
Right.
She said, well, let me send it to you. And I was like, damn, how did they get this video? And at that point,
who ratted you out, man?
it's the guy who found the guy in the rock alternative band. He found the videotape outside the station and he put it up.
How did he find it outside? What, it was thrown away? Somebody?
Yeah, it was a bunch of
Oh, it was
old
supposed to
tapes
be
outside
discarded.
at a TV station.
Oh, because I was always under the impression that somebody that your cameraman had ratted you out or
No.
something.
In fact, when it got out, the camera guy who shot it called me immediately and said, I did not do that. And I didn't
Right.
believe him. But then the Arkansas Gazette or Arkansas Times did a whole story on how it got out. And they found the guy who originally put it up. Mm-hmm. And he told them how he found it, and that's how I found out.
And that kind of saved you, you think? You think that saved your job, or it was kind of like a,
Well,
it was so funny?
That's part of it. Because when it first got out, I called my general manager, D'Artagnan Babel, who hired me in Memphis at Fox and who hired me here at Fox. And I said, well, look, there's this video. You need to take a look at it. And so I sent it to him, and he just died laughing. And then he sent it to corporate in New York. They died laughing.
Yeah.
And they loved it. They're like, we got to do more with it.
Is that right?
Yeah. So,
Now, and since then, this video has been listed as one of the top videos in Germany, the United Kingdom, Canada, New Zealand, Mexico, and France.
I didn't know all that.
Yeah, it's among the top all-time watched videos in these countries. That was a huge video. Now, listen, man. When I saw the video, listen, man. When I saw the video, I was laughing. I was like, you my friend, so I'm like, I didn't really want to. I was like, damn, should I be laughing at this? Should I really be laughing at this? But I'm laughing with you, man. I ain't laughing at you, man. But boy, that damn video was funny, man. I never seen I watched that video. I watched that video, man. I've watched that video it probably at least 30 or 40 times already. The first time I saw it, I probably watched it 10 times in a row. Now, there's also been other people that have had bloopers like that those bloopers actually ended their careers. And then you have other people that actually was ready to end their career. They basically fired themselves, like the black woman who
With the weed.
the black woman who wanted to open, I think, a weed store or a dispensary or
And
something
she
like that.
quit on air.
And she quit on air. She
I
was like-
remember that. Yeah, yeah.
She was like, yeah, fuck it. I was like, damn, like, but you know what the video did, though, in my eyes, what I thought, like, the video humanized you. Because oftentimes we look at reporters like robots. Y'all not supposed to have feelings. You're supposed to, even when you're reporting, oftentimes you see reporters go from a sad story to a happy story and to another sad story, like, all within the span of a minute. And yeah, when it's time to be happy, you got to be happy. When it's time to be sad, you got to be sad. You got to put the sad face on and stuff like that. So oftentimes we look at reporters like these mechanical people, and that video, I think, humanized you, and it really showed the world another side of the reporter. I already knew that side of you. I already knew as far as the side of you being like the human side of you, the guy that has a sense of humor, the guy that does sometimes get upset about issues. You're very passionate about things, but but the people have always just seen you strictly Isaiah Carey as the professional. I've seen Isaiah Carey, the man. And so I thought it was good. And I told you when I first saw it, I said, man, and you were still, after I talked to you, you were still very, very concerned. And I was like, man, don't worry about that shit, man. I think people are going to like you more when they see this. I was like, I think people are going to like you.
That's the first time I ever knew who you were, as I saw that video.
Yeah, and that's the big thing for.
I didn't even know until maybe a couple years ago. Someone's like, "No, it's Isaiah Carey. He's on the news." I'm like, "Wait, what?" Then I watched and I seen you out, and I was like, "This is him." But I like the video because it's how anybody would react if a bug just
right.
You're trying to do your job.
Right.
You hot because you looked hot in the video.
Yeah, very
you looked
hot.
Like you was hot. You was already ready to go. You was irritated.
Frustrated.
Then
my
here comes
son
this.
got shot.
Then here comes this bug just topping the icing on the cake. You were like.
And it has opened up a whole new generation of viewers for me, because I'll see people out in the community and they're like, "You're the guy from the video."
Right.
What do you do now?
Do you get tired of that?
Yeah.
Are you
No.
like,
It's just a part of me now. The first year when it came out, I refused to talk about it. I refused to address it, period. Whenever anybody would ask me about it, I'd walk away and be just that rude. And then I said, you know what, that's a part of you, accept it, move on.
And you've embraced it, because in the show that you have now, the Isaiah Carey Factor, that you do every Friday, right?
Yeah.
On Fox 26. That's an edgy show. In fact, you have one of the segments on the show is called Crazy Ass Criminals, and you actually have members of law enforcement there often helping you narrate or provide commentary. How did you come up with that segment?
That idea was from the executive producer, Howard Dorsey, when he was executive producer at the show, and he said, "Let's do Crazy Ass Criminal."
Right.
And I'm like, I don't think so. But then it went over well,
Yeah.
And you got to listen to other people when they come to the table with good ideas. Last night I launched my own new segment. It's called Broke Ass Vacations.
Okay.
So for those
And
parents,
what's that about?
For those parents who are getting ready to put their kids back in school and they have to buy school clothes and prepare for the year or do tuition or whatever, and you're limited on the resources, we gave some local spots around Houston or within the Houston region where they can vacation. Like you can go to the Woodlands Conference Center, or go to Clear Lake, or spend a night in a hotel here or there, So that's broke ass vacations.
But are you really broke if you're talking about spending the night in the Woodlands? I mean, because if you spend the night in the Woodlands
It's under
on
$300.
if you
Yeah,
spend the
that's
night
not-
if you spend the night in the Woodlands on a park bench, it might
That's
cost you
not
$100.
Disney World. You think of vacation, you think out of state. That's
Yeah.
not a vacation. Oh, can I just point out? I pulled up the first thing you type. I'm not gonna show the video.
I see.
As soon as I put
Laptop.
Isaiah Carey, the first thing that pops up is bug in mouth and ghetto reporter. So
Yeah, they say
there are
Isaiah
6
went from professional reporter to
It
ghetto
said
reporter.
ghetto reporter.
0.1
There's
seconds.
6 videos that pop up, and they're all over 400,000 views each. One of them that's 774,000. So people are making money off of you because YouTube pays you.
Yeah. The original, though, and I think it's still somewhere on there. The
to
original
be.
3 years ago was at 27 million views.
I believe it. 'Cause
So-
they are
Oh,
remixing
there's
you.
the Cleveland show. They did a cartoon of it.
That's the thing I was gonna say. You've been on the Cleveland show.
I gotta watch this.
The video has been featured on Tosh.0. The video has been featured on Blackish.
Mm-hmm.
The video has been featured on what's some of the other shows? Howard Stern.
Howard
You've been
Stern.
on Jimmy Kimmel Live.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man. Look,
I
man,
think it's because you don't see stuff.
my
You didn't see
videos
stuff
ain't
like
even been
that.
shown on Jimmy Kimmel Live. You dig
You're
what I'm
not-
saying?
Your video just looks so. I'm not gonna say old, but it looks old.
It is.
I was
old.
4 when it came out, clearly.
Dang.
But it's just you're like the original reporter that just freaked out. Like, and I actually thought that it was live, and that's the only reason it got out. But now that I know somebody found it, that's why you just blew up like that. It's like you're the only person that just you got away with it because everyone just was like, "Look at this nigga in the woods getting attacked by bugs." Like, it's just funny.
I think, like you said, I think it's the humanization part of it. It's the human part of it where people saw a reporter, that somebody that's normally in their element, they see them in a professional environment, and then we got a chance to see a professional person, a professional newscaster being seen outside of his element. Like, how would we react? And it was like, oh, okay, he does put his pants on one leg at a time. He's not superhuman. Man, how did you get started in reporting?
I was in the 3rd grade in my hometown of Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and a teacher invited a news reporter to come and talk to the classroom. And that news reporter, Maxine Crump, who worked for WAFB, the CBS station in Baton Rouge, talked to us about a career, and I said, that's what I want to do. And so when I got home that day, I got with my mom and my dad, and I said, let's write a letter to the TV station and tell them to let me be a reporter now.
You in 3rd grade?
You said
Yeah,
that in 3rd grade?
Yeah, yeah.
And what happened?
And so we wrote a letter to the news director at the CBS station in Baton Rouge. His name was Carlton Cremines, and he invited me down to visit. Of course, back in those days, we had to let the letter get there.
Yeah.
Arrive.
Right, yeah,
You know, you're in the
snail
same
mail.
city, so it's like 2 or 3 days later. 2 or 3 days later, he called me and said, "Why don't you come down for a visit?" And then I went down for a visit after school, and my school was 2 blocks away, and then my home was 4 blocks away from the TV station. And so I went and enjoyed the visit. Then I told him, "Can I come back the next day?" And he said, "Sure." Can I come? And then I said, "Can I come back the next day?"
Right.
And by the 4th time, he said, "I see you're really interested in this." So from 3rd grade on, I would go into the newsroom every day after school. From 3 until the 6 o'clock newscast, my brother or sister would come and get me and walk me home. And I did that, I think, until the 10th or the 11th grade. And then in the 11th grade, I got a job being paid on the radio as a radio news reader at WXOK in Baton Rouge.
Okay.
And then when I got into college at USL in Lafayette, I started working on KJCB radio. It's an urban radio station where I did afternoon drive.
Right.
While I was there for a year, but then my old radio station, WXOK in Baton Rouge, called me back and said, "We want you to be the news director here at 18. So I moved back, transferred to Southern University, and while at Southern, I think there was the Gulf War began, and they needed help at the TV station that I grew up as a kid, and they asked me to come and be a producer. And I think that's my sophomore year.
So were you just a producer, or were you were you also in front?
I
of
was
the
just a producer.
So at
in-
this point, you haven't been, you had never been in the front of the camera yet.
I've been on radio, and I'm sorry, I skipped the NBC station in Baton Rouge. I did a weekend public affairs talk show
Okay.
called Crossroads, and
So
the
that's-
theme song
so
was
that's-
Shock the Monkey.
Shock the monkey.
Wait, what?
Now, what
Look up,
was,
look up. Boom,
what-
boom, 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 boom.
And what
This
was,
one
what
went
was that
left
about?
real quick. Because
It was a daily talk show, community affairs, things that are going on in the community.
Yeah.
So I did have that on camera experience. Then when the Gulf War hit, they said, "Come and help us out, be a producer." And then they said, "Stay. We want you to produce the weekends, and you'll report 3 days a week." And then it just went from there on.
Now I have a weird question. Do you think because you were always in the news, it kind of formed you how to speak? Because you speak like a news reporter
Yeah, I've been in that newsroom like
since 3rd grade.
3rd grade. Yeah.
So that helps you you really speak like even off air, just casual conversation. You speak like a reporter.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
dropped my Louisiana accent. Yeah, baby.
I want to talk about that a little bit further when we come back. You're checking out Willie D Live.